Hello and welcome to the C Spot. I am Chef C. For those of you who have been here before, you know that I am a bariatric patient and I cook healthy meals, low carb, high protein. My name is Caretha Coulter, otherwise known as Chef C. And today, we are cooking broccoli cheddar soup. Why? Because I'm hungry. Recipe is very easy. It's going to take us maybe 15 minutes. Yeah, maybe 15 minutes to cook. And then we'll be ready to eat. So come on and cook with me. All right. So in our pot, I've got about a tablespoon of butter. I'm going to let it melt. And I put in some avocado oil. I'm going to have the best of both worlds. About a tablespoon of that as well. I want the butter for the flavor. I want the avocado oil for the high temperature that it allows to cook at a higher temperature than butter will. Now, if you don't want to use those two, you can also use ghee. Ghee is clarified butter. All right, so we've got some onions. I'm not going to use all these. Probably going to use about 3 tablespoons. You know what? We are going to use all that. That's about a half of a medium onion. I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. We're going to cook these till they get soft. I love the smell of onions, carrots, and celery cooking. And what is this called?
Isn't that the Trinity?
No.
My bad.
Mirepoix. 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 Mireproix. Ow! Gotcha. I know. Be afraid. The Trinity is actually celery, onions. No, excuse me, not celery. It's green peppers, onions, and carrots. That's the Trinity. Trinity is Louisiana.
Okay.
Mirepoix is French. And we all know I went to Le Cordon Bleu. Le Cordon Bleu. But I use the Trinity a lot too. And I actually use all the above. I'm going to let that get soft. It's going to take about 1 to 2 minutes. I'm going to add my garlic on top of it. That's about a clove. No, that's about 2 cloves. 2 cloves of minced garlic. If you do not have any minced garlic, do not panic. Use garlic powder. While that is softening, I will tell you, over here in my magic tray, I have my chicken stock. Actually, it's veggie stock. Paprika, pepper, garlic powder. Since I have onions in here, I don't really need onion powder. But I will use some because I'm going to use some of my seasoning mix. It's going to have that in there. Got my cheese already shredded. I buy my cheese in the block, shred it myself. That way I don't have as many fillers. They put a coating on the cheese in order for the shreds to stay separated. If I don't need the chemical, why do I need the chemical? I don't want the chemical. I've got some jalapenos over here. I probably will put those in.
Yes.
Because that person behind me is more hotter, more better. So that's about 1 jalapeno diced.
Of course, that's optional.
That is optional. I'm going to, actually, we're going to do the immersion blender on this later. So once we get these softened and they cook down, we're going to come through. We're going to zhuzh it. Zhuzh, zhuzh, zhuzh. Technical terms. You know I got them. Where was I at? I've got broccoli 2 ways. Okay, so you can use fresh broccoli. And I love going to the farmer's market and get me fresh vegetables in the spring and summer. You can use frozen. I like the frozen stuff too. So I've got broccoli cuts. It's about 2 cups of broccoli cuts. And then I've got chopped broccoli. That's about 2 cups of chopped broccoli. I'm going to use both. Why? Because that's my business. All right, while this is softening, let's add our spices. Measuring spoons. I went to my grandma's house and was cooking in her kitchen. I couldn't find a measuring spoon anywhere. What does that tell you?
He's a little pinch of this little pinch of that.
Do it till it looks right. So we're going to use a half teaspoon of salt. I'm using kosher salt. You can use Himalayan pink salt if you want. No problem. No harm, no foul. We want a quarter teaspoon of paprika. Paprika.
You know, we like that when we call flavor.
Yeah, flavor. Bariatric patients have small bellies. So when you eat, you want to maximize that time. I'm going to use a quarter teaspoon of dried mustard. That's about all I have in there. Time to make a spice run. I want a quarter teaspoon of the garlic powder. Give it a little mix. We're not going for color. We're going for softening. So that's why I've turned my heat down and I keep stirring because we're going for soft, not color. So I don't want any color on that other than what I'm adding, other than the spices that are going in. And we want a quarter teaspoon of black pepper. Let's talk about spices. The spices that you have in your cabinet, you should be rotating out within every 6 months because they're going to lose their potency. I don't normally buy in bulk, but COVID made me buy in bulk. I've been using it a lot to do my spice blends, but I won't have that longer than 6 months. Trust me. Again, I'll tell you, 6 months is your key. All right. Got about 4 cups of veggie stock. And we had a discussion on one of the other videos where I said that I usually take my veggie stock. I'm using scraps of vegetables. I will simmer them off, and then I pour it into ice cube containers and let them freeze, and then pop them out and put them in a Ziploc baggie, and then that's concentrated veggie stock. I do the same thing with chicken stock. And then what I do is if I need both veggie stock and water, I just take the stock out, put it in some water, let them melt, and then we have it. I used about half of that. That's a 4 cup measuring cup. I've got 2 cups in here right now. We're going to bring this to a boil. Let me turn the heat back up. I love gas stove. All right. We're going to add our chopped broccoli. And we're just going to bring everything to a boil. Once we're at a boil, we're going to, I'm going to add the heavy cream. Got about a cup of heavy cream going in. Okay, so here's the deal. I've seen several different recipes out on the web. You can use half and half if you want to. You can use cream. Life is short to not eat what you want. Bariatric patients, we need to be mindful of what our doctors have told us and our own personal goals. I want cream. I'm going to use cream. There are alternatives. You can use cream cheese instead. But I'm not going to sit down and eat this whole pot tonight. I'm probably going to have 1 serving for me, and then that's going to be it. So I'm okay with with that amount of calories that I'm putting in this. I'm okay with it. If you're not okay with it, that's fine. Do you? You can use almond milk. Because what we're going to do, the cream is going to help us to actually melt the cheese. Now, the cheese I've chosen today, I'm using cheddar cheese. I've got several containers. This one is a cheddar. This is a cheddar habanero and jalapeno cheese. That's a cheddar cheese, and this one is a Havarti jalapeno cheese. So yeah, I'm gonna use all three. And remember, I said I have a person here who's mo hotter, mo better. So he likes his heat. So we're going to get this to a boil, and then we're going to break out my immersion blender, make some noise with it, blend it down, add our cream, and we'll be ready to eat in about 15 minutes. While we waited, I added about a tablespoon of white wine, because that's my business. We got a good boil going right now. We're going to turn it down to a simmer, because we're going to go in with our immersion blender. And I really don't want to wear this today. Now, you can leave this chunky. You can do it medium way. You can go all the way to smooth and strain it. I'm probably going to go in between, because I like a thick, hearty soup. You can make this for your freezer. Just don't add the dairy. What you'll do is when you bring it out of the freezer, you will get it up to temp on your stove, and then add your dairy and your cheese in for your finishing. I think that's about where I want to be with mine. Gonna add my cream. Gonna do about a cup. There's water in there. Water in there. Do about a cup of cream. See what I said about thick and hearty? You can use almond milk. You can use cashew milk, coconut milk, if you don't want to use cream. You can use cream cheese. You'll see a lot of keto recipes use cream cheese. All right, so we're gonna let this simmer. We're gonna get this back up to a simmer. I'm gonna go ahead and add in my chopped broccoli. And again, trying not to wear it, but I think I am gonna wear it. But that's what wash machines are for. Because I'm using frozen. If I was using fresh, I could wait a little bit longer. We do not want to boil the cream. I don't. I just want to get it to temp. Wanted to get it up, and I'll know that because the bubbles won't break the surface. That's how we know that we're going to have it at a good temperature. I want it to steam, but I don't want bubbles to form, because you don't want to cook cream. Not in this instance. Cooked cream equals bad. That going on. I'm going to do some cleaning, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, we're adding in our cheese. You want to stir after each addition. Our goal is for the cheese to melt in and not be gritty. We don't want gritty soup. Gritty soup is bad. I got big chunks of broccoli. I like it. I never had a problem eating veggies. unless there were like greens, and I didn't. Yeah, the old-fashioned way greens were cooked, they looked brown, and I wasn't doing it. Brown and greasy, and yeah, we don't do that. We don't do brown and greasy. I'm gonna add another helping of cheese. Come out of there. I want all of you. All of it. And we mix. You ever watched a pot boil?
Yes, I just did.
It takes a while, doesn't it? I like the way it looks like confetti. Now, there are some recipes that they julienne their carrots. That means they have sticks. And they'll add that at the final as a finish. Yeah, comes off a little bit pretentious to me, and I'm not that one. While we eat with our eyes, if I can't eat it, or if it's not going to be appetizing, don't put it on my plate. Don't want it on my plate. I'm going to taste for flavor and then make the decision on whether or not to add some more cheese. Really shouldn't be a decision because, you know, I like cheese. Mojada mo better is back there. I'm more cheese, more better. We're a little thin. Ooh. Ooh. That's going to kick you in the throat. Those jalapenos are in there. And by the way, I didn't de-seed mine because I like the spice. So yeah. Seeds and all.
Yes.
Where are my measuring spoons? Measuring spoons.
How big of a measuring spoon is that? Or are you just going to put all of it in?
That's about 3 tablespoons. 3 heaping tablespoons. No, I'm not going to put it all. Because I'm not making queso. That's later. What? Queso? Yes, queso. Again, we don't want to boil it. So I don't know if you can catch it on camera, but I have steam coming up. Steam is fine. And we have cream in here, so I don't want to boil the cream. Kind of like scalded milk. You know, there are some recipes where you're supposed to scald the milk. This is not one of them. And I do not want scalded cream. I know there's a science reason behind all that, but yeah. I could look that up and just Google to my heart's content. Okay, we're going to let this cook down for a little bit. And as it cooks down, it's going to thicken. And then we'll be ready to eat. Ready to eat. And after it simmers and reduces a little, you'll have a thick creamy soup that's ready to eat, to warm your body, fill your soul. That's what we like. Food for our soul. So, thank you for coming to cook with me today. Remember, if you like this recipe, to like, subscribe, and hit your notification button so that you'll be notified whenever new videos are posted. If you want the recipe, you can contact me at thecspotfood@gmail.com, thecspotfood@gmail.com, or you can look us up on thecspotfood.com, the website. We're there. I enjoyed cooking with you today. Now it's time for me to go eat. So remember to enjoy the journey. Have a good one.